The fluorescent lights hummed softly above the marble floors of Sterling Financial's 32nd floor. Marcus Thompson pushed his cleaning cart down the empty hallway, his weathered hands gripping the handle with practiced ease. At 68, he had worked this house for what seemed like forever, mopping spills and emptying trash cans while the city slept below. His uniform was pressed, his movements deliberate. Marcus took pride in his work, even when others looked right through him. Tonight felt different though. The executive boardroom still glowed with warm light, voices carrying through the heavy oak doors. He paused, checking his watch. Nearly midnight, yet the meeting continued. Marcus straightened his shoulders and continued his rounds, unaware that this ordinary Tuesday would change everything. Through the slightly open door, Marcus heard the sharp laughter echoing from inside. Derek Hamilton, the company's chief financial officer, stood at the head of the polished conference table, his voice carrying clearly into the hallway. "Did you see that old man shuffling around earlier?" Derek sneered, loosening his expensive tie. "Probably can't even read the labels on his cleaning bottles." The other executives chuckled, their faces flushed from the late-night whiskey. Board member Janet Cross shook her head with mock sympathy. "These people should be grateful we even hired them. What else would he do at his age?" "Exactly." Derek slapped the table. "Sweeping floors is probably the most complicated job his kind can handle. Good thing we keep them in their place, right?" Marcus stood frozen outside the door, his knuckles white against the cart handle. Every cruel word hit like a physical blow, but he remained silent, listening. What Derek Hamilton did not know was that Marcus Thompson carried more than cleaning supplies in his cart. Hidden beneath the false bottom lay documents, recordings, and a Harvard Law degree bearing the name Marcus Sterling Thompson. 3 months ago, Marcus had convinced the board to let him work undercover after suspicious financial reports surfaced. His late father, company founder James Sterling, had built this empire on principles of integrity and respect. Now those values were crumbling under Derek's leadership. Marcus had spent decades as a successful corporate lawyer before retiring early. When corruption threatened his father's legacy, he knew he had to act. The janitor disguise gave him access to every office, every conversation, every dirty secret. Tonight's racist display was just the final piece of evidence he needed. His mission was nearly complete. Marcus quietly pushed his cart into the boardroom, but instead of emptying trash cans, he walked directly to the conference table. The executives fell silent, confusion replacing their arrogant smirks. "Gentlemen, ladies," Marcus said, his voice calm and authoritative. He reached into his cart, producing thick manila folders. "I believe you will find these financial records quite interesting." Derek's face drained of color as Marcus spread documents across the mahogany surface. Bank statements, falsified reports, and offshore account transfers painted a clear picture of systematic embezzlement. "What is this?" Board Chairman Robert Hayes demanded, his hands shaking as he examined the papers. Marcus pulled out a small recording device. "This contains 3 months of conversations detailing how Mr. Hamilton has stolen over $2 million from employee pension funds." Janet Cross gasped, covering her mouth. The other executives exchanged panicked glances, realizing their casual racism had been the least of their problems tonight. Derek Hamilton stumbled backward, his face turning crimson with rage and panic. "This is ridiculous. You cannot believe some janitor over me. I am the chief financial officer of this company." "Actually," Marcus said, removing a business card from his pocket, "I am Marcus Sterling Thompson, son of your company's founder and acting board investigator." Derek's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. "That's impossible. You're just a what, Mr. Hamilton?" Marcus asked quietly. Security guards entered the boardroom as other employees gathered in the hallway, drawn by the commotion. Derek frantically grabbed at the documents, but the guards restrained him. "This is a setup," Derek shouted as they escorted him toward the elevator. "You people planned this." The other corrupt executives followed in handcuffs, their expensive suits wrinkled, their reputations destroyed forever within hours. The board of directors held an emergency vote. Marcus Sterling Thompson was unanimously appointed as interim chief executive officer, a position he accepted with the same quiet dignity he had shown as a janitor. The next morning, Marcus addressed the entire company from the same boardroom where he had been mocked. Employees packed the space and watched via video link, their faces reflecting amazement and hope. "Respect is not earned through titles or paychecks," Marcus announced, still wearing his janitor's uniform with a business suit jacket over it. "It is given freely to every human being who walks through these doors." He established new policies immediately: diversity training, fair hiring practices, and zero tolerance for discrimination. The stolen pension funds were recovered and returned with interest. Sterling Financial became a model for corporate equality, proving that justice could emerge from the most unexpected places. Marcus had transformed not just a company, but the lives of everyone within it.